All right. So, what advice would you give to a student working on an advanced film in the future?
I would tell them that it's okay to be stressed because a film set is very stressful. You're working with a bunch of different people and you have to consider their feelings and make sure everyone feels safe and comfortable. But it's okay to be stressed and it's okay to feel that out. There's nothing wrong with being stressed. And I would just make sure to communicate with everyone. Communication is really important, but you guys all got this. You got it.
Hi, I'm Martha Rowe. I am Marissa in Dark Shadow, and I'm also BTS behind the scenes in all films. And one of the main things that was happening with acting, you have to be able to improvise. They can't be, they're all of the director's focus isn't just on you. And for BTS, make sure to get some serious stuff as long as funny, silly stuff, just to make it, better.
My advice for the next person who does lights is to make sure you have clear communication with your directors and your DP. Don't refuse help from other people because other people can help a lot. And also, don't be afraid to mess around with stuff on your own if no one else knows what's going on. Because sometimes you figuring out your own stuff is the thing that helps the most in the end.
Okay, I was on the camera department. My suggestion is, or my advice is to the next people, the gaffer knows best. They're very smart people. If you're not happy, okay, if the director's happy, that's all that matters. That's also the second thing. Your opinion doesn't matter unless the director's not happy, then your opinion matters. And also just have freaking fun with your friends and stuff like that.
Advice that I would give specifically to the camera department and specifically to DPs working on anything in the advanced film, be aware of what you're doing. Because my biggest problem, I think, on being DP for Dark Shadow was very much so underestimating how much work you're going to do. So my biggest advice is be very clear about what your job will be, and it'll save you a lot of hassle and will let you mentally prepare much more. So
Um, my advice to give to just like anyone on set is always be like willing to do like any like small little jobs, even if they're like itty bitty, and just be like friendly and kind and like very cooperative to other people on set.
Be nice. There is such an unnecessary amount of rudeness and arrogance and weirdness on a film set that for a long time I recognized was not necessary. And then when I finally got to direct mine, I I put that idea to the test, and it was true. I never had to yell. I never had to be super weird, and that worked. So be really nice, and you'll get what you want.
So, the biggest thing is when you're acting, let the directors know that if what you're doing makes you uncomfortable, give them notes, tell them things, because it's really hard to work on a movie set and you're not communicating, and it's just making your own life harder. Also, just be nice. Be nice to everyone. Have a good workplace. Be professional.
My biggest piece of advice to aspiring filmmakers is to have fun with it. There's going to be hardships, there's going to be things that go wrong. And the best thing that you can do is focus on the good and allow those hardships to teach you a lesson. Making movies is fun, and yeah, have fun with it.
My biggest advice is get sleep. Don't come in tired, because then you wouldn't want to do what you're doing. It sucks when you're tired. It really does. That's why my best friend's coffee. So I wake up, but make sure you get all the sleep you can, and don't always use coffee, right?
Being professional, you don't have to sacrifice the fun of a movie. Like a lot of people, they put too much effort into making everything seem professional and tidy and like strict that they forget to have fun, and it becomes an experience that they don't enjoy, even though at the end of the day all of us like making movies. So I just think that you need to have more fun doing it.
this is for all the writers and directors for the future. Just note, so I worked on my film Dark Shadow as my own project, and this is a character I've had for a while. So just to know, kind of don't get pushed around. This is an obvious one, but let your creativity be yours and kind of make what you want. And don't be afraid to ask stuff. That, like, if you want camera stuff, obviously ask them, because don't be scared that they have their own vision. Try to do as much as you best and go for it.
Hello, my name is Charlie Holmberg. My advice to you, if you're a camera person or DP, backlight everything. They'll make it pretty, and that's my advice to a young cinematographer, even though I'm still young. And follow your dreams. And that's my story.
I'm Lily. I was first AD and actor. If you don't like someone on set, try to wait till after the movies to confront them about it, and do at least 5 jumping jacks a day.
Hi, I'm Lakai. I was a UPM. Be nice, because people will not respect your authority if you are filled by anger and frustration.
I was the grip in all of the films, and then I was the goon in the last film in Dark Shadow. And my advice would be just don't worry about it. Like, make it as least stressful as you can. Like, a lot of the stuff, it's just really what you make of it. A lot of the stuff, I kind of over-stressed about it when wasn't necessary. That's what I'd recommend. And just communication. It's also what I'd recommend. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marley. I was the assistant UPM to Lakai, and I wrote it down because I think it's so important. Ask for help. If you don't know what you're doing, ask for help. Everyone will be happy and glad to help you, and then there's no stress, and you know what you're doing now. No one's gonna be mad. Respect other people and their jobs. Don't overstep, but also ask if they need help, because being helpful is awesome. And do things for yourself outside of school. It doesn't have to be a nightmare, and you'll be okay.
Hi, my name is Jackson. I was Will and Spencer's personal yes man. My advice would be to be loyal to what matters. Arthur Morgan. This movie isn't as all-encompassing as you think it is. Like, you still got a life outside of this, and your dedication to art shouldn't push people away, and it shouldn't hurt people.
Hi, I'm Milo Ewer. I was the art director / makeup artist and set designer. A little bit of advice that I would have to say is just, like, don't get too stressed out, because people are just trying to have you do your job, and it's not that hard. And don't get mad at people when they're trying to do their job, because it'll stress them out as well. And just have fun. Have lots and lots of fun.
Hi, I'm Madeline. I was the director for Roommates. And my advice to future generations is value your pre-production time, because I, due to health issues, missed 2 whole weeks of it, and it caused a lot of issues in pro-production. So just make sure you have everything ready. And please do not kill Spencer. Don't.
I'm Robin Weaver. I was the lead sound mixer on 2 of the projects and producer and writer of one of the projects. The most important thing to remember when you're on a film set, especially when like this, is just focus on what makes you happy about it. Like, there's things that are gonna go wrong, and there's gonna be people that you clash heads with, but focus on what makes you laugh and what makes you smile.
My name is Finley Felt. I was the producer on Dark Shadow, and my best advice to give to somebody is, like, just try your hardest. Like, if you start out, like, on a lower position, try to make yourself, like, useful so that you can go farther up in the totem pole.
The advice I'd give to future students in this class would include come in here every day, even if you don't feel like you're doing much. And if you want to be more involved, the more you put yourself in a position where you can be involved, the more involved you'll be. And I think lastly, It can be long and we can get tired, but it's just 6 weeks, 5 hours a day. Just keep pushing through and give it your best, or else you might regret it.
I think the advice I'd give is provide yourself some grace. You're doing something that you've never done before, and you're going to make mistakes, but I think more so than anything, that's how you learn and how you get better at your craft. So keep going and be patient with yourself.
My biggest piece of advice for future students is to be prepared. Really, really spend a lot of time in pre-production, and even during the production term, planning out what the heck you're going to do each and every day, like down to the minute. That means you can storyboard, draw maps, draw diagrams, show where your lights are going to be, show where your camera is going to be, do test shots, do everything that you can to be organized and prepared for when you shoot, because when you get to the actual day of shooting, you'll run into problems, and having a plan A is going to make it easier for you to figure out creative solutions. Be prepared.
This is my advice, everyone. First, don't complain. Second, be on standby at all times. Third, freaking have fun with your friends. Fourth, know what you're doing. Fifth, have fun with your friends. And don't complain.
What about your friends?
And don't forget to have fun with your friends.